That was the thing I forgot to do. That's what a great way to start the show. I forgot to do a thing as I start the show. Let me go take a look here. Do, 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 do. Where is the thing? Thing here. And here. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Okay. Do this. Turn off the sound. Nice. Very good. Shed live. Cool. Because I want to be able to see the chats. That's why. Yay. Okay. Here is where you can chat. Oh, I see the little dollar sign thing for super chats. That's pretty neat. Yeah, there's a little emoticon symbol below the chat section and a super chat thing below the chat section. Hmm. Hmm. Can I pay myself? Okay, so I can specify a dollar amount. Is there a minimum dollar amount? Yes. So this can be for as little as $1, which is nice, or as much as, holy moly, $500. Wow. Wow. Uh, can you put in something manually? Could I put in like $7 if I wanted to? Yes. Yes, I could. That is neat. That's neat. $1 to $500. My gosh. I see that Fish the Fish is here. Hi, Fish the Fish. Yeah, very cool. Can you also, from whatever interface you're using, can you see the super chat function below the chat section? Let me know. Oh, I see. Fish the Fish says that the super chat thingy is not available yet in Italy. Okay, that's fine. So here's the deal with this live show that I'm doing. Um, I wanted to do this kind of impromptu without a lot of forewarning on purpose, so that there's not a lot of hype build up around this. But I think I want to try to do a daily morning YouTube live show. Oh, I forgot to set my timer. I'm gonna keep an eye on the clock. I'm gonna keep an eye on the clock. I want these to be between 10 to 15 minutes long. Oh, we're joined by Katrina Eames. Hi, Katrina, who can see the super chat thing. Awesome. Very cool. I don't actually anticipate that anybody will use it, but if they do, that is a nice thing. So yeah, so I realized over the last week that I'm having a very difficult time getting myself to do things each day on a regimented kind of schedule if I don't start off the day with a schedule in mind and with something like specifically set to start at an early time. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make myself do these daily live shows at 9 a.m. Pacific time every day, which is noon Eastern Coast time in the United States. And what is that? It's going to be like 5 p.m. UK time, I think. And I want these to be very short, like 10 to 15 minutes long. I'll try to take notes beforehand on the things that I want to talk about. If anybody who ever wants to be like a guest on the show, let me know, and you can join me for this little tiny morning show that I do. And I'm going to go through a bunch of little segments that I have pre-planned that I want to go through. I want to go through an introduction, which is what this is. I want to talk to you about things that I disliked over the last 24 hours, or if it's a Monday, over the last weekend, or liked over the last 24 hours. I want to talk to you about something that I have learned. If there's something that I've learned, hopefully I'm learning something every day. Something that I have done to try to help somebody else, because that is, like, if I go 24 hours without helping somebody else, I feel bad. I just feel bad. So I'm going to talk to you about that as well. What else is there? And then I'll give you some like little life updates each day, and then little life plans each day. And then if I've got time, I'll give you a little bit of a FaceTime with Drew, my dog. There'll be a little dog time to finish off the little talk show. As I am inspired to do this by many people, Rhett and Link has got their shows. Cat Black has done some of her tea time videos. Um, there are lots of people like Ashley Elizabeth does You Now shows. I'm kind of inspired by all those things, but my original inspiration is, of course, Troy and Abed in the morning. So this is gonna be Paul and YouTube in the morning, and I drank all my drink. Okay, I don't have any drink. I'll be better prepared with a drink tomorrow. But yeah, Paul and YouTube in the morning. Um, let's see if we can make this a thing. Another reason why I want this to be very short is because after I'm finished with the video, I want YouTube to auto caption it, and then I'm going to go through and manually caption it. So probably within an hour or 2 hours after I've done the video, after I've done the show, it'll be available with captions as well, which is something that I can't do with my 2 hour long weekend shows. But with my daily show, maybe I can do it. We're also joined by This Is Ewan, who says it works in the UK, which is a surprise because they don't normally roll these things out here right away. Surprise! YouTube wants everybody to be making money off of this, except apparently for Italy. Okay, not Italy. So, done my intro. What have I disliked over the past 24 hours? Well, gosh, there's so much to choose from. The big thing, of course, is that Acting Attorney General Sally Yates stood up against Trump's ridiculous Muslim ban, which, despite whatever the Press Secretary Sean Spicer tries to spin it as, Trump has been calling it a Muslim ban because that is what it is. And the countries that are affected, sometimes there are, I can't remember the exact details of this, but I saw on Twitter that Jewish people, white people are being allowed to come to the United States, but Muslims are not. So it is definitely a Muslim ban. That it infuriates me that the Muslim ban exists. It infuriates me that the heroic Sally Yates, who stood up and said this is illegal, this goes against the Constitution, was relieved of her duties. I mean, it was obviously it was going to happen because Trump is a crybaby dictator. But I'm still mad about it. I still dislike it. I also dislike the fact that this within this 24 hours, I saw that the TV show The Flash is going to have a special guest character appear, and they're going to be using the slur term that was come up for that hero character decades ago. I don't even want to say what the slur term is. You can Google for it, but it is a slur term for mostly the Romani people. The Romani people who are even today in 2017 still being uh, uh, discriminated against and harmed by discriminatory beliefs against them because of this slur term and concepts around this slur term. So I'm pretty pissed off at Flash and and Greg Bernanke and all of the writers and producers. They're going with their old slur term for this character. Again, look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Take a Google for it. But it made me very mad. Um, what else did I dislike? So many things. Let's shift over to likes because I haven't planned this out as well as I wanted to, but I want to try to cover a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. So likes. What I have liked in the last 24 hours is that Senator Dianne Feinstein of California has said that she's going no against appointing Jeff Sessions as the permanent Attorney General. Good. Jeff Sessions is a ridiculously horrible racist who should be nowhere near any political office, let alone the Attorney General. It's going to be bad enough that Trump's administration is going to be full of people who are just doing whatever he wants, rather than considering the Constitution, rather than considering the United States citizens. But why add racism on top of that? That's no good. That's no good. In the chat, I see that Ewan says that the Romani slur term is also a term used for Irish travelers. Ah. It's a bad term, DC TV. Cut that out. What else did I like? I like that I watched the beginning of Steven Universe's Steven Bomb this weekend. If you're unfamiliar, Steven Universe is a delightful musical cartoon on Cartoon Network, created by Rebecca Sugar. And they go long hiatuses without any new episodes. And then they'll have what's called a Steven Bomb episode where they release like 5 or 6 or 7 episodes all in one lump. And that's happening this week. I watched the beginning of it, and the first episode had Korean imagery. It was beautiful, and some Korean language as well. I loved that on a mainstream cartoon. Oh, it was so good. The second episode was kind of but the first episode was just beautiful. It was wonderful. Loved it. Very happy that Steven Universe is back. Learning. What am I learning? I have learned from the Twitter account of Aaron Alexandria. Shoot, I'm going to include a link to this. But I have learned from their Twitter account that um, what the procedures are for presidential impeachment. You'd think I'd know more of these details, but I didn't know all the details of it, and now I know a little bit better. Um, and that is versus what is it? Versus the idea of making a new 25th Amendment, a 25th Amendment to relieve Trump of power. Um, I should have gone over this before bringing it up because I don't know all the details. But I learned more about how it's so difficult to impeach a president, and it's I mean like in the time that I've been an adult and cared about politics, I have not felt a desire to impeach a president until now. It feels vitally important to do it. But I also learned that all of the protests that are going on are making a concrete difference in the way the politics are happening in Washington D.C. Politicians are paying attention to it. They are freaking out about the huge outpouring of opposition to what the administration is trying to do. The protests are working. Please keep at it. I suck at going out in public to do that, so I'm trying to do my part by making phone calls and sending letters and emails and faxes. But if you can do it and get out there and protest, those numbers are making a difference. I learned that this week. And that kind of also overlaps with helping. I'm also doing that as a way of helping the American people this week. I'm trying to fight the power. In the chat, Katrina says, would you be willing to make a full video on presidential impeachment? Because that's really interesting. Yes, I will put that on my list. Admittedly, I'm mostly just going to be going off of like, I'm going to be learning something and then putting it right on video. But I'll do that. I'm happy to do that. That would be great. What else have I been doing for helping purposes? Something that I try to do on Twitter is, and I can't always do this. If you're not familiar with spoon theory, I've got a video for that. You can take a look at my list of videos where I talk about spoon theory in less than the amount of time it takes to register to vote. But my spoons are generally too low to get involved in someone's psychological issues that they've been having. Um, but if someone is just making a very short statement about how they're going through some sort of struggles or difficulties, I am making it, I'm purposefully trying to make myself reach out to them. Even if they haven't asked for help, even if they haven't been saying, please do such and such for me, I try to at least like reach out to them and say, I'm paying attention to the struggles that you're going through on Twitter. I am paying attention to these public struggles that you are sharing with us, and I support you, and you should take care of yourself. Um, yeah, it's a small thing, but every time I do that, I do feel like I do feel like I'm making a little bit of a difference. Decreasing world suck, as the Vlogbrothers might say. So that's how I've been helping. All right, so I just finished coming up with this list of the topics and how I wanted to do them before I started this live show. Uh, Hopefully tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, I'll have a better version of this where I'm more prepared and have things written out better. Let's see here. What else is in the chats? Ewan says, have you seen the Scottish protest signs? I have seen them, and they are hilarious. Um, there's cursing, and then there are words that I don't understand, but they're all very derogatory toward Trump. It's delightful. And Fish the Fish concurs that they would also like to see the impeachment video, so that's definitely going on my list. Great. Here it is at the end of January, and I have not put out a new Poor Talks video in a few weeks. I got a long list of things that I want to put into a Poor Talks video, so it's going to take a little while. But I am going to make it, and it's going to be captioned, and it's going to go up as soon as I possibly can. I'm aiming for this week, but I can't make any promises. Life is a struggle. My upcoming plans for the near future. This afternoon, I'm going to do an interview to see if I can become a apartment resident manager for my apartment building, which would be a job, and it'll allow me to work from home, which would be really nice. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to go to Silicon Beach, which is an area of Los Angeles where there's a lot of tech companies, and literally just walk up and down the streets and see what is available in terms of the businesses there and who I might like to apply to work for. We'll see. Um, and let's see what else. Oh, and tonight I'm going to watch some more Steven Universe when that comes out. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch The Flash. I might skip it. I might boycott this one episode because of the slur. We'll see what happens. And then like a vague plan in the future is you may know my friend Rachel Pierce, the Junie Bird. She and I have been working on possibly doing a television review podcast thing, which might be like once a month or once every couple of weeks. It's she and I are working together on it. We've not gotten anything that's good enough to present to you, but it's in the works. I've hit 16 minutes now, so I'm going to wrap up the show. But I'm going to wrap up this test run by showing you, if I can, my dog. Can I? Oh, I can. Right here. Look at that. That's Drew. You're on camera, Drew. Okay. All right. So, how was this? I'm gonna and I stopped the show. I believe that the live chat comments will go away. Although I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But regardless, rather than leaving me a response to what you thought of the show in the chat, wait for a little while and the video will become archived and viewable again as just a video rather than a live show. And leave me comments. Tell me what I could have done better, what I could have done worse, what should I cut out, what should I bring into my next episodes. If you would like to be a guest on a future episode of Paul and YouTube in the Morning, let me know and I will have you as a special guest for this. And I think that's it. This is my test run. Tell me what you thought. And as I said at the end of all my videos, I'm still got to keep this up. Tomorrow will be even better. And I'll see you then.